Hi, and welcome to Turra Company, the mother-daughter podcast about everything. Our mission is to make herstory, aka history, not by going viral, but by doing something that has never been done before in our family. Whether we have 2 listeners or 2 million listeners, we are bringing you our very best, and hopefully we are learning and growing together in the process. Now let's enter into the Turra Company experience and create herstory, aka history together. Welcome to Turra Company. I'm not used to y'all not laughing. I really am not.
Is that like, do you need us to ha 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 ha? Is that
right.
Make you feel more
Do
comfortable?
something. Like I say welcome and then y'all go silent.
Okay.
Do you think that's like, never was that? Like, I feel like maybe I should say welcome and then y'all say something after my welcome. What do you think about that? Next season?
We'll play around with it.
We'll think about it.
We'll workshop it. How about that?
Sounds like a plan to me. So how y'all doing, company? We are back rolling out these episodes. So what are we talking about today?
Friendly betrayals? The only reason I'm questioning is just because of the wording.
Okay, what do you think it should be called?
Just backstabbers. Like that's like I didn't mean to sing it.
Backstabbers smiling in your face. That all the time they want to take your place. The backstabbers. That's what you want to talk about?
Sure, yeah.
Is this the backstabbers episode?
Let's call it backstabbers because that's essentially what this is.
Okay, well, yeah. I mean, I can say.
Why do you always ask us for confirmation after we say that that's what it is? Like, if we just said that that's what we want to talk about, then, that's what you want to. That's what you want to talk. That's what you want to call it.
Are you sure? Is that your final answer?
That's what you.
What is this, Jeopardy?
But every time I ask, doesn't it get changed?
Because
didn't she just change?
Because you make a second guess it because you keep asking.
Well, because I want everybody to be on point with it. What is going on? You can sit back. This is why you get time outs from the shows. Because you just don't be coming with the right energy. Get your energy together. So anyway, we're talking about backstabbers. I call it friendly betrayals. How about that? We'll say that. But I'll name it backstabbers. Okay. But we're talking about friendly betrayals. And so what is exactly a backstabber? Like, I think everybody that we would mention this to would have a different opinion of what a backstabber is. Like, is a backstabber somebody that you thought y'all was cool and then they all of a sudden blocked you?
Something like that to me.
I'm just laughing because I'm asking.
Something to me, yeah.
Is that a backstabber?
Or like you have an agreement like, oh, we're gonna go do this thing, or we have a united front on one thing. Like, let's say me and Chelsi both agree that this has not happened. I just want to put this disclaimer out here. This has not happened.
Okay.
Let's say Chelsi and I decide, hey, we're going to tell mom that we don't like her tacos. And then I come to you and I say, hey, Chelsi and I don't like your tacos. And then Chelsi flips it up on me. It's like, actually, I love your tacos.
So she stabbed you.
That would be an absolute, like, itu Brutus type situation. Like, you betrayed me like Julius Caesar type situation.
Or, who betrayed Jesus in the Bible?
Judas.
Yeah, you was the Judas. So yeah, that's what we're talking about today. Have you ever been backstabbed, company? Because and see, when I think of backstab, mine's is not a backstab. Mine's is just, it caught me off guard, right? Mine's, I did not think, when I think of my example, and I'm not going to go into details about my example. It's not going to be story time. But when I think about my, I'm going to say friendly betrayal, because that's what I feel like it was. Because I felt like I was friends with the person and some kind of way it broke down in communication. This is my end of it. There's always your story, their story, and the truth, right? I feel like there was a breakdown, and then all of a sudden I'm blocked. And that just took me by such surprise, because I thought we were at a place where if you had that big of a problem with me, you could call me. Because I didn't even know the person was mad, right? I had no clue. until I started trying to reach out. And then I was like, why am I not being able to get through? And then I figured it out. But I get it. You don't want to be friends anymore. I guess that's what blocking means, right?
Yeah.
If somebody blocks you, that means they don't want to be your friend no more, right?
As somebody who has been on the blocking end.
Because Chelsi can't talk to this because she doesn't block people.
Chelsi doesn't block.
No.
Chelsi.
Why don't you block people?
She thinks it's too harsh.
Because I want you to see what I'm doing. I may not want to see what you're doing, but I want you to see what I'm doing. That's why.
No.
And so let me ask you this, though. So are we talking about social medias? Because this person blocked me from their phone. They didn't block me. They stayed on my social medias, but they blocked. Well, my different ones.
It's social media, regardless of its multiple.
Even if it's plural.
If it's plural, it's just
social media.
Yeah.
Okay, Chelsi, with the clarification. So they stayed on my social medias, but they blocked me on their phone, which I don't even know about blocking, right? Like I know how to block a spam call or like
it's so easy.
Right,
it's so satisfying.
But you know why I don't know? Because I wouldn't do that. I would communicate with you.
I've done it a couple of I've had to block a couple of people in my lifetime for various reasons, for unrelated reasons to each other. But I've had to block a couple of people for.
But why did you block them? Were they like the only reason I can think of blocking somebody would be if they were abusive to me.
So the couple of times that I've had to block people's numbers is because of what they had one common trait, and it was because they were saying things that were out of pocket. So in both cases, the people on the receiving of the blocking end, they responded to a situation in a way that to me was disrespectful and out of pocket. And I, instead of having a productive conversation, what I thought would have been a productive conversation, I knew it wouldn't have been received that way. So I was like, I'm not wasting my time, I'm not wasting my effort, and I'm not wasting my energy. You're blocked.
But were you really friends with the person, or were they associates?
One person was an associate. One person was an associate. The other person was actually a friend that I had had for a long time, but I'd known for a long. I'd had conversations with them in the past before that were never productive. So I knew.
So why were y'all friends?
Because because that was their one flaw. Their one character flaw is that you cannot have, but I felt that I could not have productive conversations, especially about this particular topic.
But other stuff was good.
Other stuff was great. Other stuff was good, that if I needed something, I could turn to them, I could talk to them. If I needed advice, I could talk to them. If we when we were friends, everything was good.
Right.
But things changed in our friendship and in our dynamic that we just couldn't come back from it.
Yeah. And so see, for me, I get that, but because you're the blocker and I was blocked, the receiver of the block, I feel like in this particular situation,
your case is different. Your case
is so different.
Yeah, your case because I know about your case. My case, there was no way this person needed to be blocked. We were friends for years. And it's wow. It really hurt my feelings. If I'm being honest, it hurt my feelings because I thought we were closer than that. Right.
And that's that thing that you always tell me that I do is I put people in certain spaces that they probably shouldn't be. Because I obviously wasn't in that space for that person.
Yeah. In my case, this person, I don't know what was going on with them, but they started acting. Here's what it is. They acted out of character. They started acting out of character. And I was like, I don't like this new person. I don't like who this is.
Right. But you couldn't tell them that.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. And so I feel betrayed. That's why I call it a betrayal. Because I feel like we could have had a conversation.
Yeah.
And so my feelings were hurt. But it was, and another thing that I didn't understand is you stayed on my social media. And I was like, so you don't want to talk to me, but you want to see me.
Right. Yeah.
Which was very weird.
No, of course they did.
That was very weird.
No, of course they did.
Because if I'm blocking, which I don't block, but if I'm blocking, you getting blocked everywhere.
Right.
You're not going to be a part of my life because we're not a part of life anymore.
Yes. However, you're thinking of this with a rational mind.
Oh, okay.
But the reason why you weren't blocked on the social media is because a lot of times people, they want to keep track of you because they want to validate the reason why they blocked you. Like they want to validate, they want something tangible.
They'll be like, look at her, she's so toxic. That's why I ain't messing with her no more.
They want to justify and validate the reason why they did it.
Yeah, and that's crazy. That's crazy.
It is. It's a weird thing.
I don't understand it. And then another thing, when you're meeting new people, okay? And so I know that it takes time, right? When you first meet somebody, it takes time to get to know them and stuff. But I'm just always on super high alert when I first meet somebody, because I'm like, okay, why did you just say that? Why did you just do that? You know what I mean? Like I have a heightened sense of awareness of betrayal when it comes to newer people, right? I'm saying right.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I zoned out for like 2.5 seconds. We're talking about blocking and on social medias, and it made me think, do I have this person blocked on social media? But they don't have social media, I don't think. So I don't think I need to.
Were you ever connected to them on social? You probably weren't connected to them.
No, they don't have, they're one of those people that's like, I don't have social media because
right.
That kind of person.
Okay.
So I don't think
You'll have to figure that out. But no, I was asking you, I was like, so I have a heightened sense of awareness when I meet new people, right? Mm-hmm. Like I try to take it with a grain of salt. I try to be open to it, but I'm also like on high alert, like, why did you just do that? I don't think that's a good thing, right? That's what I usually do.
Oh, now that I think about it, now that you mention it, I have been blocked by people.
Somebody yourself?
By a couple of people. By like a couple of people, probably. No. And it's a similar situation of the betrayal, but different from your case. Mm-hmm. I was the person who tried to talk it out and tried to get the clarification, and the person did not give me any justification, and just felt justified in being, because like they were angry with me for some reason, and I was like, I wasn't okay with just being with them, just being like, not trying to talk to me about it. And I was like, hey, let's figure it. Let's fix it.
Let's talk it out. Because I know it's a misunderstanding, because 90% of the time it's you or me. Somebody perceived it as different.
Right. And this person just wasn't just already made up the narrative in their mind that I was wrong and didn't want to hear it. So they just immediately were just like, you're wrong. Sent me like a block a text paragraph text message, and then just immediately blocked me. And just like that kind of situation.
That's crazy.
Now that I think about it, I have probably been blocked by like a couple of people. But,
yeah. But it just, it's very hurtful to me, because it's like, why couldn't we have talked it out? Or listen, why couldn't you just not have answered? Like that's the part. Like if I called you, why could you just not have answered? Because I would have gotten the message that way too, because I'd be like, oh, okay, we must not be rocking.
That I get. But here's the thing. You are when it comes to a lot of these situations, one of the things, and this happens a lot, I've noticed with you, is that you are not the average person.
You're right. Especially when it comes to friendships too.
Right. When it comes to friendships and when it comes to interactions. So a lot of times when you say like, oh, I would have gotten the message with just this, the average person wouldn't. Oh. And I know that the average person wouldn't, because I've been in similar situations, and the average person does not make their moves in that way. I've been in situations where like there's been disagreements, like I've said before, where there was a disagreement and I tried to talk to them, and the person just automatically made up the narrative that they were already mad and they weren't going to change it.
Right. They it's almost like they made up their mind. They're going to cancel you out. It's nothing you can say or do, so I'm good.
Right. Exactly.
Blockity block.
Right. So I've been in those people, the people on the blocking end, and like, I'm not going to lie, like that hurts.
Yeah, that hurts your feelings. It hurts my feelings.
In the moment, it hurts your feelings, but also to an extent, I get it.
Yeah.
And I get it to the extent of you feel like you have to protect yourself and your peace.
Absolutely.
And you don't want to you're going to cut it off at the source.
Right.
Like, I get that. Like, you have to, because at the same time, you have to treat everybody like they would do you, like they would do you harm.
I guess so. You just start making that up in your mind.
Right. Like, and I get like,
and you're like, I need my peace. They're overstepping my boundaries. So I'm just gonna, I can see blocking, and it's surprising that I don't do it because I could see how it would make you be in control. Because you would be like, I'm about to show you.
It's a little bit of a power trip. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I think it is because, I get a power trip on speaking to you.
Yeah,
because I'm gonna give you all I got.
It's a little bit of the blocking is like a little bit of a. It's a
like here, I'll show you.
Yeah,
that's how I felt. That's how I took it. Like I'll show you this thing, or maybe it was a bunch of things, and this was the last straw. Well, I'm tired of dealing with you. We not clicking no more. I'm good. Peace.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, wow, that was crazy because it was a long time friendship.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very long time friendship. So I was like, okay, but that's what you got to put in mind too. Time. In these type of cases, it doesn't matter because it was like that to me. It didn't matter to that person, so it can't matter to me. And I'm gonna be honest. The longer that the friendship has been no longer, I find things like I'm finding things that I used to do or didn't do when I was friends with the person. Now I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? It opened up some time for me.
Yeah.
So I twisted it in a positive way. Like I said, I wish the person very well because I didn't block her. She blocked me.
Yeah.
And so I wish the person well. I don't have any ill will, but I just was like, gosh, we couldn't have talked it out.
This is what's weird about me as when I've been betrayed by former friends. Is that it's weird to me being on the receiving end of the betrayal, especially when the other because in my situations of the friend betrayal, if you were to ask the people if they felt like they betrayed me, they would probably tell you no.
Right. They'll say you betrayed them.
They will more than likely,
because that's what they build up in their head.
They will more than likely say that that it was me who did something wrong.
Yeah.
And I will admit that kind of hurts a little bit.
Yeah, because you're like, I didn't do anything. Or if I did,
let
me apologize.
Well, here's my thing. No, you can't say that I didn't try to make it right. You can't say that you cannot say that without lying to yourself or lying to me.
Right.
You genuinely can't.
Right.
But
I agree.
I agree. There's got to be.
But I think the hurt is the part that they're trying to do.
And that's wild.
Because you got to know that those measures that you took hurt somebody's feelings.
And I know that that's intentional. And as somebody who, and like, I'm not going to lie, the person that I blocked, they probably don't even know that they're blocked. Like, right. I don't think
they probably didn't call you no time after that.
Not at all. I highly doubt it. I don't think like in the case of the person that I blocked, I don't think the blocking it probably wasn't necessary.
But you just did it because you was on your power trip.
Well, a little bit that, but I also did it in the event that I knew that if there was further communication, it wouldn't have ended well. So in order to save both of us the confrontation, I felt like the blocking was enough of a message.
Chelsi, you got any friendly betrayals? And they don't have to be betrayals. Ariel calls it
just backstabbing.
Backstabbing.
I'm on the side of just like that. I'm the like receiving end of it, that people feel like I betrayed them over nothing. Yeah. So then like I'm the one. Like what's like blocking, what you guys are talking about blocking, what my equivalent for that is you unsharing your location with me.
Okay.
Or
but you cutting a connection.
Yeah, like somehow a connection's been cut. And
because you feel like I betrayed you.
Yeah.
But do you always know what it is?
No.
Because the persons don't come to you.
Like in the most recent situation, I have my thoughts on what it could be.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But you've never had a formal...
sat down and had the conversation. I don't know. It's just speculation.
And that's so weird. Yeah. Doesn't that make you feel a type of way?
Especially when it's like the person I had it with, we used to say that we had really good communication and that we were able to come to each other about stuff.
Yeah.
But now it's just like
dead.
Now it's like
I'm dead to you.
Do you feel like it's you?
Do you feel like
100% it's not me? No.
And you know how I know it's not her? And this is how you're going to know it's not her. because Chelsi said the most important thing. She said, we haven't had a conversation. She's open to having the conversation, but the other person is not. And that lets me know. So blocking or not having the conversation lets me know that you've built it up in your mind that this is over, that this is done. You didn't come through like I wanted you to come through.
You just one day just stopped talking to me.
You're just right.
And you just stopped.
And you're
Instead
like
of coming to me with saying like, hey, like there's some things that have been going on and like I just want to talk to you and bring you my opinion sort of and like let's talk this out. You just said, nope, this is what it is in my opinion, or in my head this is what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm cutting
and you
it all
ran
off.
with, and she ran with it.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing. It's like, wait a minute. You know, and like I said, sometimes I think in my situation, it might have been building blocks, right? It might have been this thing, then the next thing, then the next thing. And then that person had been smushing it down. And then all of a sudden, one little rock hit it, a little pebble hit it, and it exploded, right? And so it's like, no matter what, I will never stop saying that we should have had a conversation. Even if the conversation was the person saying, hey, I'm not down with you no more. I'm not feeling you no more. I wish you well. Have a good life. That could have been the conversation. And I would have been like, I get it.
So I just chuckled. And the reason I chuckled is because what you're describing is setting a boundary.
Oh, okay.
And is having a conversation about boundaries.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm laughing is because the person that I talked to, before I blocked them, we had a brief conversation about boundaries. And I set a very clear boundary. I made something very
So
clear.
you told them. So the person you blocked knew you blocked them?
No, they didn't know that I blocked them.
Okay.
They didn't know. I didn't set a warning of, if you do this, I'm going to block you.
Yeah.
I just set a clear defining boundary of a boundary.
Yeah.
And then they broke the boundary, and then they just crossed the boundary.
Okay. We're going to do a show on boundaries, so
Yeah.
don't go too far into
I won't.
that.
But they crossed the line one time, and then I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this. And then they were blocked.
And everybody has their limits, right? But this is how I think. First of all, people need to know what a friend is, right? A friend is, I can get mad at you, but I'm still down with you. Like, and that might be the loyalty Leo in me, right? Because I'm very loyal, and I think Chelsi's the same way.
Yes.
So when you're loyal, your mind kind of just doesn't spin to understand, how could you just cut me like that? How could we be this close on Thursday, and then all of a sudden on Friday, you can't even look me in my face, or you don't want to hear from me, or it makes you wonder, like, what was I?
That's true.
That makes me think it wasn't as deep as I thought it was. Because I do suffer from that sometimes, where I'll be like, oh, you're my friend. And I'll think, because they're my friend, that I'm their friend. And so, but when you think about a friend, what we're describing really is kind of like an associate. Because an associate, to me, can just drop you. Like I understand, especially at my age, because at my age, I notice there's an involvement happening, right? Because that running out of time. You think life is too short for me to be over here doing this with that. You know what I mean? So you start evaluating stuff like, life is too short. I don't have time for this. And you cutting and purging things. So I totally get that. But at the same time, when I call you friend, because I don't call everybody friend. When I call you friend, I call you my friend. We rocking. Let's go.
You know what's so funny? It's funny you mentioned the Leo thing, because, and this is
The loyalty Leo?
the loyalty Leo, because as we've mentioned before, I am also a Leo. But you know what I also am, that I have a lot of in my chart? Cancer. And Cancers are emotional, and they are emotional. They're also apparently petty, which also makes a lot of things make sense. So I am also loyal, but I'm loyal to myself first.
So that's a boundary too, right? Yeah, I'm loyal to myself always, but I'm also, if I rock with you, if I call you friend, ain't nobody gonna be able to say nothing about you in my presence, and I'm not gonna stick up for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even to this day, I don't even rock with the person. But if somebody was to say blah, 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 la, 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 I'll be like, nah, that ain't it. That ain't it. That's not, we're not going to do that. I would still take up for the person. I would still rock with them. I would never let nobody talk bad about them because that's the kind of friend I am. I don't even think people realize that when I rock with you, I rock with you. And that's why I get hurt sometimes when I have friends that do.
For me, it depends on how badly you hurt. It depends on how bad you hurt me. Like the people, like the person who blocked me, I don't even think about that. But the person
Right.
I blocked, I don't have anything bad to say about them. I don't have I don't think.
But it depends on the time and it depends on the journey, right? Every friendship has a different journey.
Right.
And so not every friendship is supposed to last the whole time, right?
And I get that, and
I'm just saying,
that. Yeah.
and I respect all of that, but how do you end it? Do you just do like Chelsi said her interaction was, I don't even know what I did, but it changed? The dynamic, the energy, everything changed, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what do you do? What did you do? Did you just, you let it roll how it was rolling?
I said okay, and everyone around us who knows the situation is like, oh my gosh, you guys should talk. Oh my gosh, talk it out.
Yeah.
And at this point, because we've been going 4, 5, 6 months, 3, 4, 5 months about it, at that point, I'm done. Obviously, they don't want to talk about it, so why do I want to talk about it?
Right.
At this point, what are we going to talk about?
What are you going to say?
What are we going to say?
Yeah.
It's so far out at this point.
Yeah.
What are we going to say? Number
Nothing.
one. Number two, obviously, because that it's taken us so long to initiate a conversation about it, obviously, that just tells me that our friendship just wasn't that.
It wasn't what you thought it was.
Yeah.
Like you had her in friend and she must have had you an associate. So in that case,
And then-
you got to pull back.
And then it becomes at this point, it's the relationship's never going to be what it was.
That's
so
true.
that's my thing.
Yeah,
the relationship's
that's true.
never going to be what it was.
Right.
So why do I
Because you
want
can't trust it.
Because why do I want to fix it? You know, that's
true.
just the pettiness in me. It's like, what's the
No,
point?
that's not petty. That's the smartness in you. Because I'm gonna tell you, this is so funny that you said that. I used to have this friend back in middle school, and I don't know what her deal was, but I remember we was such close friends. Like we got really close really quick, and we were such close friends. And I did one thing. I can't even tell you what the thing was. I did one thing. She didn't like it. She cut me off from all communication. Like we were in the same class and everything. She cut me off from all communication for the rest of 6th grade. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? And then a little bit, 7th grade came. We still in the same class. And then all of a sudden one day she starts talking to me. Right? And I was like Chelsi just said, I was like, I don't trust this. Look how she just disregarded me and threw me away, you know? And then kind of like had a little click going where, you know, because I'm not friends with her, don't you be friends with her. You know what I'm saying? So here I am having to build a whole new friend group because you not only not friends with me, now you trying to wrangle people up to not be friends with me. So 7th grade comes and I'm friends with her again, but I'm walking on eggshells, right? Because I'm like, I don't know I didn't even know what I did in the 6th grade. So I'm walking on eggshells. And when we lasted the whole 7th grade, whole 8th grade, I get in 9th grade, I think. No, it was further than that. So we managed to keep it together. And then I think 12th grade, after we graduated high school, I called her one time, said something, and she hung up on me. This was no cell phone time. This was a long time ago. No cell phones back then. I said what I said, and she hung up on me. And that's when I set the boundary for myself, and I said, you know what? You better than this. You're so much. I was like, you don't have to. A real friend, you do not have to walk on eggshells. You should be able to express yourself to them. They should be able to express themselves to you, and y'all just rock it.
Ugh.
That's a friend. Yeah. That is a friend. Like I should be able to say whatever it is that I feel. And it is so crazy because my best friend now totally different. Like, it was kind of one of those things when I first met her, I was like, okay. And I was so bruised, right? I was so traumatized by friends, right? Because of this one girl. And so when I met my now best friend, I was like skeptical. Like, I wanted to be her friend. Like, I liked her. I knew we was, we was meshing, but I was like, I don't trust it. and 30 years later, we still friends. And it's totally different. I don't have to walk on eggshells. I can be whoever I want, and she appreciates that. She can be whoever she wants, and I appreciate that. And that's what a friend is. So while we go through these other friends that are hurtful, right?
Mm-hmm.
The new friend is coming that you can just giggle with and talk to. And you got Gabe. You got that.
The comment about being able to say whatever you want hit hard, because that one will never hit. Gabe would never hold his punches,
right?
Ever.
And you still rock with him, right?
Ever, because in our a couple episodes ago when we were talking about can you handle the truth, and how you both were talking about how no matter what, even if I don't like the truth, you can still tell me the truth. Mm-hmm. If there is anybody in this world who will not hesitate to tell me the truth, it is that one right there.
So yeah, that's our show on friendly betrayals. I think we can wrap it up because we've talked about it. If you're a friend, let's wrap it up like this. If you're a friend, you should be able to talk it out. Like, if you call me friend and I do something that offends you or something that you think you want to set a boundary around, let me know the boundary. And it can even be, you know what? I think we've outgrown each other. I think I'm going here and you're going there. I wish you well, but I don't think we should be friends anymore. That would land so much smoother than all of a sudden you trying to call somebody and they say, boo doo doo. Even though it doesn't say that. I had to do a little investigation to find out that I was blocked. But, it like I said, it was very hurtful. It wasn't something that I thought would ever happen, because this person had always said, I'm a talker, I would talk it out. So it caught me way off guard.
Yeah, the person I blocked, I don't even think they know that they're blocked. I'm like,
so y'all wasn't that close in the first place.
Yeah, 90, or at least when this happened. I don't think, because we were close at one point, but I don't think they know at this point that they're blocked.
Yeah. All right. Well, company, you know what to do. Follow us on all of our social medias and make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. And we will see you guys on the next episode.
Okay, bye.
Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. We look forward to you joining us on the next episode. Until then, be inspired and enlightened.